Hey everybody, my name is Michelle and welcome back to Sweet Pea Farm NY. Today I'm going to show you a super easy, fun gift idea to make that I've been making a ton this year for the holiday season. We're going to wet felt some soaps. You can decorate the felting any way you want, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And then the wet felting itself is a very quick process. All you need is a bowl of water. I'm going to use warm water because it's -6 out today in upstate New York. And normally I use goat's milk soap that my sister makes, but for the ease of the video, I'm going to use this store-bought soap. I think it cost me $1.99. It's still a nice soap. It's an olive oil soap, and it's got nice rounded edges. So when I use homemade soap my sister makes, I just shave the corners off because when you're wet felting, the corners are like kind of poke out. So we're just going to use an oval bar to save me having to shave the corners off today, and get our wool and our bowl of water, and let's get started. All right, to get started, I've just taken some of my white core wool and laid a little bit out one way and kind of crisscross it until I have the sponge pretty much covered. I'm going to place my bar of soap in the middle of that and take a single felting needle and trace around the edge of the soap so I get a basic idea of the area that I want to put the decoration. So once I've traced around that, I can pretty much see where the soap is going to be. I'm going to take a multi-needle tool and go through that just to kind of solidify my lines so that when I'm putting the decoration in, I have a less fluffy base, because you can see the rest of the wool is pretty fluffy. All right, so this is pretty much where the bar of soap is going to be. You can take that and lift it off a sponge so it doesn't stick so much. And now I'm going to be putting a cactus design on this bar of soap, and I want it to go vertically, but you can make your decoration go horizontal or vertical, whatever way you want. I want mine to go vertically, so I'm going to turn the sponge and have it facing me and go ahead and put my design on. These are very simple because they're small and flat felted pieces, so I will just go ahead and get started. These are fun, simple designs. I did a lot of sharks, yellow ducks. I do sheep faces on a lot of them. I'm trying to think of what else. I did a whole bunch of Christmas ones for a friend of mine that's a very supportive customer. I'm trying to think. We did holly and a gnome and reindeer and a snowman for her. And I just did a cactus one for one of my daughter's teachers. And I thought it was a fun idea for another person I know. So I thought I would do another one. So just getting the design laid out only takes a couple minutes, and you can do whatever you want. You can put someone's name, you could do Mr. and Mrs., you could do the year, you can do anything. That's why this is a great gift, because you can personalize it to anybody's liking, you know, whatever they like to do. Team logos, school, you know, mascots, whatever, you name it. These are pretty easy to customize, and then it's a usable gift. So I like that because, you know, knickknacks are fun and everything, but you know, not everybody has tons of space for all the knickknacks in the world. So this is something you can use. The wool around the soap keeps the soap from sloughing off quickly, so the soap will last longer, and it also will make your soap have like a natural exfoliant, and it also suds up really nice through the wool. So it's a really fun gift to give because it's really nice to use. So I'm just going to put a couple pink flowers on the top of some of these. We just went to Arizona and saw tons of cacti, but one of my daughter's teachers really loves cactuses, and we couldn't really come up with better gifts for her, so I made her one of these, and then I made her a cactus ornament. So all right, so I have my design on, laid out pretty I kind of came a little bit too close to this edge, but it'll end up working out. So now we're gonna get our bowl of water and get started wet felting the soap. All right, I got my bowl of warm water. It doesn't have to be warm, but it's really cold out today, so I'm using warm water. I've got my soap, my bar of soap, and my wool that I already decorated. I'm just gonna take the wool and make sure that I center the artwork on the bar of soap the way I want it, and then wrap the remainder of the wool around, kind of like a present. This might have too much on this side, so you can always tear some off. All right, So now I'm holding it with it wrapped around, you know, fairly snugly. Obviously the corners are still a little loose. But now I'm just gonna submerge it into the warm water until the bubbles stop. So the water needs to be deep enough so that you can get the whole bar of soap submerged in there. When the bubbles pretty much stop, then you're just going to gently place the bar of soap in both your hands and start very gingerly wiggling the wool just to agitate it a little bit. You can kind of shift your fingers, but you don't want to be too aggressive because the wool is not felted yet. It's going to stick to the soap anyway because it's wet, but you don't want to misplace it at this point too much. You want to be kind of ginger. I'm kind of squeezing with my thumbs and my fingers on the back of the soap and just wiggle and get that wool agitated. We're going to keep this up for a while. It seems like this might be, you know, you kind of just dip it in the water, keep it going. Eventually the soap is going to suds through the wool, and that's what's going to help you slide your hands across the wool. You really don't need much fiber for this whatsoever. Little tiny bit goes a long way because you don't want the wool to be super thick around the bar of soap. You just want it to be enough that it covers it. So you can see on the back part there's some suds forming, and those the soap that suds through helps your hands kind of slip around the wool and keep agitating it. And the top is getting dried out, so I'm going to flip it over and do the same with the front that I did the back, with my fingers just kind of wiggling around it. Kind of cup your hands around the soap so that you're encouraging the wool to felt around the edges. You want to be gentle with all the motions that you're doing because, you know, if you get too rough, the wool is going to come right off the bar of soap at this point. Just keep rubbing and turning it around. You can dip it in when it gets too sudsy. Kind of just like you're washing your hands really good, but while you do it, you're felting the soap. And what happens with the soap, as the soap shrinks, the wool felt around it is going to shrink too. And you're going to end up with just wool left when the soap is all gone. But the wool definitely makes it last a lot longer than if it didn't have the wool on it, because it protects the wool from sloughing off on the bottom. How it does, you know, nice quality soap often gets really smushy on the bottom if you leave it on the side of the sink or the shower, and then you end up with it going really fast. But the wool helps that from happening quite as quickly. And also, as you can see, as you're felting it, the soap likes to suds up really nice through the wool, and the wool acts like a really gentle exfoliant for your skin. So we use these in the shower even. They don't feel scratchy or rough whatsoever. They just feel really nice. And you can see that in just a few minutes of agitating the wool around the soap and using your hands to kind of form it around, it starts to felt up. So right now the wool is staying on the soap by itself. I'm going to continue to felt it a little bit more because I did have a little extra wool on this one, probably more than I needed. But I just continue to agitate the wool around all the edges of the soap. And, you know, as you go on, you can get a little bit more rough with it and put more pressure on the wool. And like I said, you can do any designs on these, so they're really a great gift idea because, you know, everybody needs soap, and especially in upstate New York, everybody's hands get really dry if you're using Dial and, you know, hand sanitizer and all sorts of regular soaps all the time for doing dishes and washing your hands. So having a nice soap like this is really good for your skin, and you can just make it a personal thing by adding a simple decoration. Continue going. And some of the little fibers on the cactus I can see are going astray, but not too bad. So at this point, I'm pretty close to done because I know these fibers aren't going to go anywhere. I'm going to felt a little bit longer, but when you're all done and you feel like your soap is felted and the fibers are going to stay on there, then all you do is a final rinse and then kind of squeeze it out and lay it out on the towel to dry for a while. So there you have it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed making this little felted soap with me. They make super great gifts. They're fun to have around the house. The kids love using them. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions, if I forgot to mention anything. Let me know if you have any great ideas for the decorations to put on them. I always love new ideas, so let me know. And if you haven't already, make sure that you smash that subscribe button. We are 6 days away from the first possible lambing date, so I will have tons of upcoming videos in the barn, what's going on with the sheep, and hopefully all goes well. It's supposed to warm up, thank God. So keep up to date with what's going on, and if you haven't already, hit the like button. If you enjoyed watching this video, I really appreciate hearing from all of you guys. It's so much fun to interact. That's why I do a lot of this. So let me know down below if you're gonna try it out and what you think you're gonna put on it. Have a happy holiday season, guys. I'll talk to y'all later.